What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, joined by my guy Big Game James. This is another episode of Best of Enemies. Today we have some very familiar faces for you guys. We got some guys that, honestly, if you're watching this on Twitter, because we are live on Twitter, you probably have been following guys.
Live on Twitter.
It has been hilarious. It has been awesome. But that's where we are. That's where we are, right, in the off season. So this is gonna be fun. We obviously got Lord Brunson and we got Cowboys fan talk, Mr. Rome. How y'all boys doing, man? How's everybody doing, man? First off,
I can't complain, man. I'm chilling. I guess we're gonna talk about what's bothering these guys so much. But we're gonna find out why they really hurt.
No, we ain't hurt at all. We have no hurt.
It's Sunday morning, man. You can't be in a good mood. You chilling.
Right.
It's a beautiful day.
It's a good morning, good
it's
day.
A beautiful day.
It's been sunny out there. It's been nice outside. Summer's coming around. You feel me? Everything's good.
Well,
everything's good.
Some good civil,
and I will say that
NFC East conversation.
yeah, civil, calm, right? Yeah, exactly. But I will say this, before we do jump into this, somebody said on Twitter, the content creation on YouTube is a lot like WWE. It's a lot of stuff that we talk our junk in front of each other when it's on Twitter. But at the end of the day, there is a mutual respect here. And I want to put that out there before anything, because I know we're going to go crazy in this chat. So before we get into anything specific, any like craziness, let's just talk about these schedules. We'll start with you, Lord Brunson, work our way down to you guys. As far as the Eagles, obviously, with you, LB, we have the second easiest schedule in the NFL. We've added a lot of talent to this team. I know I'm feeling good. I know you're feeling good, but how good do you feel about this season?
I feel good. I feel like the floor of the season, like for me, and especially in correlation with the schedule, is like 11 wins to me. You only play one elite quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. I mean, the rest of I'm just not scared of a lot of guys on the schedule. When Dak Prescott could be the second best quarterback we play this year, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So the floor for me is 11. You know what I mean? As far as those guys go, I guess I'm gonna let them speak for themselves. But we know they definitely starting off 0-1. That's on everything. Yeah. Tom Brady ain't playing with
facts, big facts.
That's all I know.
I'm gonna let you go. It's your house.
That's it. That's all I got. I'm gonna say our floor is 11.
I'm gonna let James go because you know how I give it up. I stir the Kool-Aid. So go ahead, James. Give him the realistic.
All right, I appreciate you, big dog. I mean, it's all good to me. I mean, after I looked at the schedule, I got to set 12 wins again. I'm being nice because I could go 13 because I already know about that. I'm being nice and go 13 and change that 12-5 and go 13-4. But I definitely see us repeating, and this ain't no homerism. And the reason why I say that is going to be because of that quarterback play. And it's been showing up this whole time Dak has been there, and it's been showing up the last few seasons. So I don't see why it wouldn't show up again and us being the first repeat NFC East champions in about 20 years. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
We'll retort. We'll let you guys talk. We are going to try to keep some semblance of order. We're going to definitely give time to retort each other because
I'm gonna occasionally have to go on mute for the laughter.
We gonna start throwing drinks at the camera. It ain't that deep. I'm with James, man. Look, when you look at your schedule, you get your first thought. You say, all right, let me look at these. Who I'm playing. You always go to what quarterbacks I'm playing. So I'm just like y'all. I'm like, all right, look, where the losses? Our two toughest games, arguably in the beginning, and we got the Rams. That's really it. You know what I'm saying? As far as so, I'm like, all right. Say you just build them 2 wins in, then you got maybe 2 or 3 other losses you can't really explain. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, 12-5 or 11-6, if everything don't break right. So that's where I'm at. But I'll go 12-5 because I'm an optimist. You know what I'm saying? But I can see 11-6 if a game. It's always a game like the Broncos game. I'm sure y'all gonna bring up. I know y'all got y'all notes. I can see it. So, you know what I'm saying? I can see 12-5 again. You know what I'm saying? But we all know what it really come down to for us. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, I will say this. The Philadelphia Eagles, like I said, we added a lot of talent, obviously have a pretty easy schedule. And I just feel like you look at it's the second year in the system. I'm sure things will change, but you look at 2016 and it gives me vibes of that. It gives me 2016, 2017 vibes. You're loading up We'll see what happens with the quarterback. You guys know me. I'll
Not
never
2011
sit
vibes?
here and lie that. Say again?
Not 2011 vibes?
No dream team in up here. No dream team up here. But see, that's the thing. That's more media driven. That's more media driven than that is from our fan base. Our fan base never looked at that and was like, "Oh, this is a dream team. We're going 16-0." Our backup quarterback said that, and Cowboy fans ran with it.
I saw Vince Young send out a tweet that it's Dream Team 2.0. Did Vince Young ain't send that tweet out?
It's something. Yeah, you can retweet anything. I see some Cowboy fans saying some craziness on Twitter as of late. But I think that we're in a really good spot.
It's y'all time, man. Y'all walk around, wear it proud. I'm gonna just fly under the radar. Do y'all think?
I'm saying 12-5. That's my thought.
Before we get off of this, what's the Dallas Cowboys' first 6 games?
We got.
Let's see. We got Tampa
That's a
Bay.
loss.
We got
That's a
Cincinnati.
loss.
Bengals.
Okay.
So y'all
Okay. Now you can't say the Bengals are a loss because they're going to be coming off the Super Bowl little honeymoon.
Okay.
We can definitely win that game. So I got, for real, if you want to ask me about it, I got us doing 0-2 with that suspect Cincinnati. Then we got Washington and the Giants, both wins. I do have an emotional loss against the Rams. Then we playing y'all. And then I told Joe that coming off that emotional loss, I feel like that's the day that y'all feel good about yourselves and y'all get the upset.
So based off what you just said, y'all played 3 division opponents, the runner-up for the Super Bowl and the GOAT in the first 6 weeks.
Right.
And you think y'all going 13 and what?
No, I said 12-5 because if you look at our schedule after that, we got so there you go. I said hold on.
I'm sorry. The Cowboys are clearly worse.
I said I was being nice saying 12-5. I could switch and go 13-4 and just change that loss against Philly. But I said we were going to run because if you look at our schedule at that, it's Detroit, Chicago, bye. Green Bay, we're going to beat them. Minnesota, Giants, Indianapolis, Houston,
everybody just going to beat Green Bay without Amari Cooper, huh?
I mean, we can definitely beat them because we're going to have the defense.
Y'all know y'all ain't got no respect for Amari Cooper.
Come on, bro. Look
at
our defense. Look at our defense.
Y'all ain't even used to like Amari Cooper. That was y'all.
We still don't. We still don't. We still don't. Let's be clear.
Now, so we
but y'all did though. Y'all love them.
Okay, we love Amari Cooper.
I feel like how y'all felt about.
But y'all still had Jalen Hurts.
How we felt about Amari Cooper.
But y'all still have Jalen Hurts. We just saw the truth. That's all. That's my deciding factor with everything.
Let me ask y'all a question.
Jalen Hurts ain't under no contract.
Y'all brought.
It don't matter. He's under contract this year, and he ain't gonna get it done.
But y'all brought up the Super Bowl people.
Who knows? Y'all like
yes,
Jalen Hurts. Don't lie.
No, well, I like Jalen Hurts because he don't win against Dallas. I definitely like him because of that. He don't win against Dallas, so I definitely like him. And his record is not good. His overall stats are not good. But I mean, I like Jalen Hurts, what he brings his leadership to the table. But that's the deciding factor, and you know it, Joe. When we talking about the NFC East and talking about who's going to win the division. You know that's the deciding factor is Jalen Hurts. And right now, Dak Prescott is over. Jalen Hurts
is not the deciding factor on if we win this division or not.
It is. Oh, definitely is. It definitely is. Oh, he will be.
Oh, he will be. I think so.
I do so.
On defense alone.
Exactly.
Okay, well,
if you look at what we added on defense.
You added who? Okay.
What do you mean we added who? You should know better than everybody.
Okay, come on now. Okay, I know y'all added Bradbury. Y'all doing cartwheels over Bradbury.
As we should. As we should.
Y'all doing cartwheels. But you see what we kind of did against them, right?
Hey, look, I caught y'all round table. I caught y'all round table.
James Bradbury.
Hold on. I caught their round table.
Bradbury was the number one guy.
I know who y'all season depends on. Because y'all said it for 3 hours. It's Jonathan Gannon and Nick Sirianni.
Yeah.
Okay. That's more accurate. That's accurate. That's accurate. That's more accurate than Jalen Hurts.
So that's what y'all nervous about. It ain't even Jalen Hurts. It's y'all.
Exactly. You're exactly right.
I wouldn't even say Nick Sirianni.
That's the truth. I agree with that.
I wouldn't even say Nick Sirianni. I would say Jonathan Gannon for sure. We have a lot of talent on that defense. It's if he can get a hold of it and worry about it. Now, I do want to ask this before we get too crazy. There's somebody else did say on Twitter. I'm gonna use a couple of quotes from Twitter because it's been funny over the past couple of weeks. But somebody else said, and I think it was a Cowboys fan that said, Cowboys fans and Eagles fans are forgetting that there's 2 other teams in the division. Yeah. Does Washington or Giants scare you at all? I'm going to say off rip, not at all. But what do you guys think? Is there any way that you guys think they maybe sneak in?
let me say something real quick. First and foremost, we doing a service for the fan bases. We keeping May and June active, so they should be happy because it be boring out here. You know what I'm saying? But as far as that, I mean, I think they should both be better. I ain't gonna say they should just be whooping boys, but we know who the division gonna have to. It's gonna be a battle between us two. It just is what it is.
Yeah,
it
Unless
is. I mean,
wrong.
What do they want us to talk about?
I mean,
what are they happy about that we should be talking about them about?
That's what I'm saying.
I know, but here's my thing about both those teams, Washington and the Giants. The Giants, I mean, they did pretty decent in the draft, and the Washington Commanders, they got Carson Wentz. I think that is going to help them because it gives them a little bit more stability at quarterback. But as Rome said, and I'm sure both of y'all know, I mean, everybody should know the division is between Dallas and Philly. Any of them outsiders that are saying different are just trying to start something and trying to get clicks and views, because we should know that the most two talented teams are Dallas and Philly right now in this division.
Daniel Jones is like one of 4 quarterbacks with a worse QBR than Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, facts. He's terrible.
Daniel Jones is trash.
But they do coach still got a bad quarterback to work with. That's why I'm not worried about the Giants too much. You know what I'm saying? They bought
Washington to me, I don't even say that they have more stability. I think that they just have probably the most talented quarterback they've had in a long time. Like, I don't think that Carson Wentz goes in there and is like a leader and gets these boys to rally around him. He hasn't shown that.
It ain't about Carson.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think Ron Rivera is not the guy.
Ron Rivera been trash.
Yeah, he's not the guy.
Three winning seasons in like 12 years.
Yeah, I don't even know why he got a good rap. I really don't know where it came from.
He got that rap from Carolina. But see, you know how
that one big season.
But I'm saying, but you know how teams do. You know how NFL do. You ride off of that and they'll look back at that if you're trying to start. But it's Washington. So I'm happy Washington did that. When they grabbed Ron Rivera, I was happy. I wasn't mad because I knew Washington wasn't gonna win nothing with Ron Rivera. So I was never mad at that decision.
Tell the Washington fans that they swear he's like Bill Belichick come through like,
bro.
I'm Spanish, so I got nothing but love for Ron Rivera. He came from Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? I can't sit here and bash the man. I got nothing but love for him. Like that man was wearing a Puerto Rican flag under his shirt at the Super Bowl. I love that guy.
He probably like Dan Quinn. He probably a better coordinator than he is a coach.
He's a defensive coordinator.
He's a defensive coordinator. That's what he is.
Look at his last 2 draft picks, first round picks.
Yeah, he keep leaning. He got to lean towards defense. I get it.
Facts. Now, I do want to ask you guys, the Cowboy fans, as far as Cowboys offseason goes, I know that you guys lost people. It is what it is. It's blatant. You can see it. It happened. It is what it is. How big are those losses, I should say, and how do you think you guys filled those holes, or do you think you did?
I'll tell you the biggest loss off bat of all the players that we lost. I gotta give it. Gotta give it to Coop. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got nothing to do with my faith in CeeDee Lamb. It's just you don't lose a big weapon and just be like, whatever. He is definitely a great receiver in the league. A lead or not, whatever you want to call it. He not a slouch. So I would be blatantly lying like Coop won nothing. I feel like the most overrated loss, and I hate to say it, I think we'll be able to absorb the Randy Gregory loss better than most people think. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that I don't think he's talented neither, but he brought 6 sacks to the table. It wasn't 12. And we could even if we find a way to get 4 sacks out of somebody else. I mean, what production? We didn't lose. Like, if we lost Micah, knock on wood, then I'll be emotional. But we lost Randy Gregory, and although he's ascending, I can't. You know what I'm saying? Amari Cooper is absolutely the one that, if I had to say, was the biggest loss. But the whole people overhyping. Look, Cedric Wilson is decent, and Lyle Collins was kind of on the downslide. I feel like we'll be able to absorb those 2 losses easier. Cedric Wilson is not like a number 2, but Amari Cooper is the one. I can't lie.
Well, just kind of bouncing off of Rome with that. I mean, I've been said it as well, Amari Cooper, because you just look at the stats and what he brought to the table. I mean, he was a threat. He was a true number 1 receiver. And just like Rome said, it's definitely no knock against CeeDee Lamb. It's just showing you how good Amari Cooper was. And when you have something like that and you don't replace that, you get somebody in the draft who we like. We like Jalen Tolbert, but he's unproven. He's a rookie. Michael Gallup is hurt for for first month. So
he's gonna be going in November.
I'm just gonna say,
he's gonna be singing with White Club.
He's gonna be out at least 5 games. So when you see that, that's gonna be a loss where you don't feel like you replaced. And then bouncing off Rome again. Randy Gregory was a loss, but when you had Dante Fowler, who really didn't get to play with Dan Quinn, and when Dan Quinn is really putting his hand on this defense, when you see the draft pick in Sam Williams, when you see they brought Dorrance Armstrong Jr., not trash, he's a good player, and they brought him back at a reasonable type contract, it does lessen the blow. And then you got guys that are competing. So I feel like Amari Cooper was the biggest loss, as he said before. The offense may take a little step back because of that, but guys just really got to step up. And I mean, when you look at what we lost in the offseason, we lost a Blake Jarwin, our tight end, so we got to deal with the rookie now. You lost Amari Cooper, but just like Big Rome said about with La'el Collins, we were already seeing that was kind of heading to the door anyway. I was surprised when he got his contract, for real, Rome, when he got his extension. I thought he was going to be gone before then. So the fact that he lasted this long, okay. And then Connor Williams, he can be replaced. Cedric Wilson, he was a third receiver. Guy can slide in. So mainly it's just really the Coop thing, and if Jalen Tolbert can really step up and see what James Washington can do.
Because look, it's addition by subtraction with our first-round draft pick. I know he wasn't a big name. I know Tyler Smith ain't like moving the needle, but I don't know if y'all remember Connor Williams like I do. That's not something I'm sad about. He can go.
Right.
Good luck in Miami.
Right.
Especially going against the Dogs, the Eagles.
Yeah, nobody was sad when he left. His undersized self nobody was sad when he left.
So do y'all think Cooper was only successful because of the presence of Amari? Because Cooper now is the number one wide receiver. And if in order for Dak to, I think, duplicate all of the things that he was able to have come to him last season and the year before last, is because of Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb combined. So what are y'all expecting from CeeDee Lamb?
I'll tell you like this. If you don't mind me going, James.
Go ahead, James. I mean, I said go ahead, James. Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead, James.
Now, CeeDee Lamb was a bona fide number one coming out of college. He just came to a team with wide receivers, so we put him in the slot. Just out of the I would say the hierarchy of the pecking order. They didn't want to move Michael Gallup to the slot at the time because that might not have worked out for his actual game. So they just threw CD in the slot, and now everybody's saying that's all he can play. Oh, well, there you go. But I really do feel like CD, like if you really, really go back, of course, and watch him coming out of Oklahoma, you watch him last year coming into the year, earlier in the year, Dak was really going to CD heavy. He was actually going away from Coop. You know what I'm saying? A lot of CD's production was earlier in the year, and I feel like he built that trust factor. What happened was Dak messed that calf up, and y'all know the deal. Things start going downhill from there. He got a concussion at one point. It kind of threw off his season. But I got nothing but faith that he's gonna be able to step up and be able to be a number one because he's done it before.
I mean, if you're asking me, just falling off Rome, I mean, everybody's talking like CeeDee Lamb wasn't a number one. Everybody was surprised that he dropped that far. Do we forget about that? That he fell that far in the draft? And I mean, if you look at his stats in his first 2 years, the dude has 231 receptions and 2,000 yards, man. I mean, he had 1,100 yards last year. I don't know where people are saying that, oh, he ain't no number one.
That was the quietest 1,100 in history.
Right. And that's just because you had Amari Cooper. But here's the thing. People are saying, oh, he was just this in the slot. No, if anything, you like that because he's a versatile receiver. You can put him on the outside. You can move him in the slot. That's what you want in a receiver. You don't want one guy that can just sit there on the outside and just chuck it. This guy is versatile. So I definitely see really like a career type year. If you see this is a year three is where the guys are really supposed to shine. Now he's the sole guy, and Dak Prescott already was a favorite target when he was a rookie. Before Dak Prescott went down, one of his favorite targets was CeeDee Lamb. So let's not forget that. And so this should be a career type year for him.
Hey, LB was about to say something good.
But now you got teams that's going to game plan different.
Right.
Because CeeDee Lamb the only guy. They're going to take away the first read of Dallas. That's what I would do. I would take CeeDee Lamb out of the play and make you throw to who Gallup, who ain't going to be there till like Thanksgiving.
We got to go.
Right. Who else there?
James Washington.
That's
and
what I'm
then
saying.
you got Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz is there, and he was a security blank. He got a lot of targets. I mean, let's keep it real.
But if Dalton Schultz your second option, does the play even really have time to develop?
We don't know that though.
Let me ask
because he would be the second pass catcher.
Y'all know
that's just looking at it.
You know football, Lord Brunson. You know the deal. This is what's going to happen. They are going to try to take CD away. What do you do when they try to take your passing away? We're going to shift back to Dallas from 2-3 years ago.
Run the ball.
We're going to run that football. You're going to have to bring up some people to stop the run, And when we do that, it's going to open up things a little bit. You can try to shade CD and do all the extra stuff. That going to just turn it around and hand it off. Now, you can have a discussion on if Zeke's washed out. I know how that go or whatever. But if we smart and we use Tony Pollard some more too.
That's what you're talking about, right?
You know what I'm saying? That's exact. That first game, when everybody think it's about to be a fireworks show like it was last year, we ain't got the artillery. We ain't got enough receivers to battle with Tom Brady and them. We about to run the ball and try to take the air out the ball for the game.
That's the biggest difference that I see with y'all. Why I think we better than y'all, because if you go down 17, that puts you in an awkward position. You know what I mean? You can't shoot it out and bounce back how you could the last 2 or 3 years.
Not until the receivers get up to speed. You're right. I can't say that.
But who's to say? But look, who's to say they ain't already up to speed though? Who's to say? You never know when these dudes down.
Jalen Tobin never played it down, so I can't.
I'm talking about the other guys you got that got some experience.
Oh well, look, I'm hoping.
Somebody could do something. It's just highly unlikely.
I got faith in Dak. I got faith in most of the receivers on the. I gotta wait for Tobin. I can hype him all I want to, but I still gotta wait for him to actually play it down. You know what I'm saying? And I got faith in James Washington because if you go back, you know we all do that. We get a player. Let me go see what he really talking about. That was more on Ben Roethlisberger than him. You know what I'm saying? He had Mason Rudolph throwing him the ball. Things get weird when it's, you know what I'm saying, when you got Duck Hodges and stuff like that. So I got to at least get a man a chance with a legitimate quarterback. Last time we got a quarterback reclamation project like that, it was Randall Cobb. And he was about to be thrown in the trash heap. He came to us and got himself a contract in Houston. Dak put him right back on the map.
Yeah.
Then he went to Houston and died again, and now he's playing with Aaron Rodgers. So I'm going to give him a chance. Look, he a former Biletnikoff Award winner. Y'all know what that is out of college. James Washington can play receiver. He's not trash. He just under the radar because you end up in the wrong place. No one know who you are. So I think he'll be – I'm not saying he's going to be a G, but do I think he can get 700-800 yards?
Yeah, you know it's likely. It's likely.
I think, but see, you know –
we've been doing a lot of talking about the Cowboys. When I watch y'all stuff, because I'm fans of y'all stuff, that's y'all where I get my Eagle news from. Where else am I going to go from? So, legitimately, if y'all, you know what I'm saying, what worries y'all more? Is it Sirianni? Because last year I know the pendulum swung back and forth. From what y'all was saying on Friday, it was too much passing, and then it was too much running. Y'all want more balance. Y'all more worried about him getting excited because y'all got weapons and going back to too much passing, or y'all more worried about Gannon not using y'all new defensive weapons? I just want to know from you know what I'm saying, because y'all the experts.
Gannon.
You can go first. Yeah, you can go first.
Oh, hands down, Gannon. We gave up 80% completion percentage to like 6 different quarterbacks last year. You know what I mean? You can't do that now. If you Gannon, James Bradbury, and Darius Slay got to spend more time being in a wide receiver chest. You gotta make these guys think. I think we led the league in some crazy stat I got from Gate City. How fast the ball come out of opposing quarterbacks' hands.
He broke it
down. Less than 2.5
It was crazy. It's like less than 2.5 seconds. Like soon as dudes hike the ball, they releasing it because they know we playing off coverage 8 yards down the field, giving guys every underneath route they want. He got to be way more aggressive, man. It's Gannon for me because I look at this defense like this. You're gonna hold a bunch of people under 24 points this year. You know what I mean? Well, how good this defense should be. You should also be able to win a few games for your offense and put your offense in better field position. We struggled with that last year as well. So, we're not going to act like a stout defense like we just built can't really help your quarterback out at the same time as well. So I'm definitely going with Jonathan Gannon over Sirianni. Sirianni at least proved that he could switch it up. He at least proved that he'll listen. Some guys just die on the hill of stubbornness. You know what I mean? I give Sirianni.
I know a couple of those on my side.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's definitely Gannon for me, man.
Yeah, I will say I 100% agree. I said it yesterday. I think I was like the first person that even brought that up yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It was like this. I like the talent. Don't get me wrong, but the coaching scares me. But if I keep it to the offense and just talk about that pass run, I know we were talking about it yesterday as well, or I think it was yesterday, the day before, something like that. All my days when you don't have internet, when your internet's broken, it's like every day just is the same. I'm reading books and starting fires and stuff. It's weird. But no, when I look at this offense, it really depends on what you want out of this season. Do you want to be a team? Because I think that we have the talent to win a game in the playoffs. I really, truly do feel that. But you have to play a certain type of game. And I know that our organization wants us to be a pass-first organization. That's no secret. I feel like the Eagles have been very clear about that, especially Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman. So we'll see if they just say, hey, Nick, go do what you got to do to win games, or they say, hey, Nick, go out there and make him throw the ball. And if he can't win by throwing the ball, we're going to have to go find our other quarterback. So that's the only thing that worries me, is that this front office will put evaluation over winning. We've been able to balance both, which I like, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. We were talking about it the other day, like I said, and it scares me that they just want to find out what Hurts is instead of realizing that you have a team that even if Hurts isn't what you especially want, you can still be successful. We can still run it down a lot of people's throat. We can still, throw the ball 25 to 26, 27 times in that neighborhood and still be successful. Jalen Hurts has to obviously make a leap, but that's the only thing that worries me as far as the offensive side of the ball goes, is how they're going to utilize this season. Is this just another, we're figuring out who we are, which is kind of fair in the grand scheme of things if they do say that. I mean, we are a rebuilding team from last year, right? And we did better than anybody thought. So I don't know. I hope that they're just like, we're going to go out there and win games with this team. But a part of me thinks they're going to be like, we have to still evaluate what Jalen Hurts can do as what we were doing.
But see, that's where I'm coming from when I was talking to you, when I was saying that, Lord Brunson, when I was talking about how I feel like the organization is still putting it in. Okay, we need to figure out what Jalen Hurts is. We need to give him these weapons. We need to get him together because we like what we saw from last year from our record. We made the playoffs. We want to take the next step. We want to go all in. We ain't trying to wait. We're trying to make this happen now. And I feel like with that, right. And I feel like with that type of behind him, I feel like that's the thing that's going to be the key, B, is because all that stuff is going to be on him no matter what he think or feel. He's got all that on his chest now. He didn't have that on his chest this year, and you can't tell me he ain't looking at for next year. You got them 2 first rounders for next year, so
I disagree.
It's there.
Look, I disagree.
Go ahead.
This same level of pressure been on him last year. We were talking about trading this boy since he stepped on the field. All last year, we've been talking about, is he good enough? Should we get rid of him? We've been talking about getting rid of this dude since he took his first snap. The pressure don't scare me. We're not talking about a rookie here. Technically, this is 3rd season in the National Football League coming up. This is just his 2nd season being the guy. And this is his 2nd season in his life that he's had the same playbook, the same coaching staff, the same familiarity. When you go get a dude best friend and bring him there, and then you extend him, they're trying to put money in Jalen Hurts' pocket. He better be looking at this different. They're trying to extend you.
I feel that.
I'm with you on that. That's why I look at CD, because that's the underlying thing that we don't bring up. This CD's year to make his money.
Yeah.
So you ain't gonna never get a more focused CD Lamb than this year. This the year, because if you don't get it done, we're gonna just move off you. You know what I'm saying?
They ain't moving off him.
Listen, if you don't get it done,
man, you don't know in Dallas. Yeah, you don't know Stephen Jones. They're gonna use any. No, I don't, because you don't know Stephen Jones. Stephen Jones is cheap. And like I said, this is the year, since it's his 3rd year, and you just lost Amari Cooper. This will be his year to make his money, because when he comes up for the contract, he could see his numbers decrease while others increase, so they could lowball him to really don't pay him that money. That's what they do in Dallas, big dog.
They're not
going to franchise tag him.
If Tolbert was nice and CD not, Dallas would be like, you wearing 88 next year. Tolbert.
Yeah.
That's how Dallas
and they damn sure ain't franchising for CD.
No,
that's great.
You see what they do?
That's what they do.
They took Dad's jersey off and put it on CD back. There you go.
They do it to everybody.
About the Eagles is we'll re-sign our dogs. Like if you're gonna be good in Eagles green, we're gonna keep you as long as we can. Mostly at certain positions. Like we kind of hate on
we like our dogs too. Just come cheap. We like our dogs too. Just come cheap.
Fun Dallas story y'all want to look up if you're on board. Stephen Jones didn't want to pay Deion Sanders.
Damn.
He got into a physical fight with Jerry Jones. This is a real story. He didn't want to pay him. Like that's what we gonna have to deal with when Jerry gone. I'm just saying.
That was like a 94, right?
Yeah, he didn't want to pay him back then.
So it's been like that with players.
So who don't want to pay Deion Sanders? If you don't think Deion good, where's your mind at?
But it was a lot of stuff. It was a lot of stuff going on back then, though. The salary cap just came out. See, Dallas was very used to just giving people money, because it was like the Wild Wild West.
He was throwing the door.
It was like
but
the
that's
Wild Wild
not.
West back then.
I'm not gonna say that's accurate right here, because here's my thing. if you're trying to get over and if you're trying to take the next step, there's certain times that you can get some free agents without killing yourself.
Y'all
and
know.
the thing is, he wants to gamble with rookies because he puts all the stock in rookies. So you do put a gamble on that, but here's the gamble. He feels like it's not a biggest gamble because I'm not paying as much money. See, he feels like it's a bigger gamble if I go get a free agent and I paid you this money and you don't pan out. Then he's worried about the cap. But if I get these rookies in, it's a gamble and I ain't paying them a lot of money. It ain't a gamble to him. It ain't the biggest gamble. And to me, I don't like that mindset because that doesn't get you over the top.
Look, y'all hear when y'all hear us whining or you hear us upset about the Cowboys, it's about the front office. We be mad at the front office because y'all look, I gotta commend Howie.
We the same though.
Yeah.
No,
y'all was aggressive. No, y'all I gave y'all props. No, y'all was more aggressive.
We complain about Howie like nothing.
But
y'all
complain about his right because we talked about it though, Joe, that with Howie over there, he got to be aggressive because he know if he don't, he could not have a job, right?
Yes,
Dallas don't have that pressure. Ain't nobody pressuring Jerry. Ain't nobody pressuring Steven. And when you don't have that pressure, you can sit there and take your time and do it how they doing it. That's the frustration in Dallas. Y'all are more aggressive. We sit back. I just made that tweet and you retweeted it, Joe. So stop them lies. When I sat there and said I like y'all aggressiveness. I like how y'all was aggressive, but I'm gonna leave it at that.
No, I'm just saying, look, I know we being civil and everybody probably in the comments like, why they not yelling at each other? But look, look, Howie Roseman care about y'all fan base. If you come out and say, I got you, bro, I got that from y'all. I didn't even know he was talking like that. He talking like y'all now. You know what I'm saying? That means he care about how y'all feel. He probably watch y'all shows. You know what I'm saying?
He probably do.
He don't care. He do not care.
Yeah. It's tough when your owner's the guy.
He offered Bobby Wagner $1 million. Like, he's wild. Like, I know Bobby Wagner. Is this dude real? Like you don't want this veteran minimum? No. So that's what we got to do. That's where our frustration comes from. It is what it is, though.
That's crazy.
Either I'm a
speaking of
weird. So it is what it is.
Speaking of the chat, though, shout out to everybody in the chat. Between all the channels, we got over 300 people already in here. Be sure to hit those likes wherever you are. I think we're on live on Big Game James channel as well. And on Twitter, we're everywhere you can find us. So be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe. If you guys don't know who Lord Brunson is, I don't know where you at. Go follow him on Spotify, on Apple Music, and YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So everywhere. And then obviously my guy Rome. Obviously, we're not yelling, right? Cowboys fan talk, Big Game James. Those are our friends. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they just made bad decisions. They picked the wrong team. So it is what it is.
Look. Can I say something to y'all point earlier though? Before we get lost, before we move on, look.
Yeah.
I think the best kept secret in football is the fact that both of our front offices meddle. Everyone talks about our front offices always messing with like certain stuff. There's jokes like Jerry will call out and say run a pass play. It's jokes like that. But I remember about 2 years ago, right before Doug left, I heard both of y'all saying similar that Howie Roseman and Lurie was a little bit too involved in the football operations. From day to day. Do y'all think this is just a legitimate question? No, I'm trying to throw no slights. Do y'all think that Howie and Lurie are going to say, I need to see you air it out a little bit more? Do you think he's going to try to push the game plan? Not actual X's and O's, but like, hey, we need to see him throw 30 times a game.
I think Sirianni is. I don't even think it's even coming to Sirianni. I think Sirianni, because we're going to throw the ball more regardless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I will say there's a report out right now that apparently Jeffrey Lurie has been kind of given more power to Howie Roseman as far as like big decisions and trades and stuff goes with that, and that Jeffrey Lurie's kind of stepped back. I think that that's good for Nick Sirianni because as bullheaded as we all try to think that, you know, Howie is, and I'm to blame. I'm one of those people that kind of think that he's a little bit too much with his hand in the pot. He is a guy that will let his coach. Like he's done it before. He did it with Chip, even though he did get kind of banished to the broom closet. That wasn't really his choice. But even when he was there, he let his coach. So I don't think that that'll be an issue for Nick Sirianni. But I 100% agree with Lord Brunson. I think Nick's going to come out and be like, listen, I wanted to pass it last year. So if we can't do it this year,
we got the weapon.
Figure something out. Yeah, and that,
but you know what
brings me to the go ahead.
I just want to say, Joe, but you know, like I said, man, when you got a front office that's aggressive, I mean, it's frustrating when you're a Cowboys fan because you sit there and say, Remember, I just told you, Joe. It's like I felt like you guys didn't stand pat. You guys were 9-8. You said, you know what? We're not sitting on our laurels. We're not gonna accept what we did last year. We're trying to get better. And where I feel like Stephen Jones comes from is like, well, we got to make sure we good money wise first for anything else, and then we're gonna go ahead and take it from there. And I don't like that mindset, because if you just had a team that came off that loss like you did at 12-5, and you had everything, you felt like you could have made the Super Bowl that year. Yeah. Wouldn't it be in your head to go even harder the next year to say, hey, we didn't like the way we finished last year. That was a huge disappointment. We're going to go and do this, this, and this to take the next step to get to that. Bro, we're not going to let that happen again.
James,
we don't feel
like,
it
wasn't like trying to beat the Warriors without 2 threes. It's like we playing the Warriors today. I watch basketball. I'm just doing layups. Y'all can do everything, y'all, but we only doing layups today. That's what we do. We just using the draft. Everybody else using trades and free agency. We like, nah, layups. That's all we do. So it's frustrating because it's like Stephen Jones lives on the hope factor. I hope these new people we drafted pan out. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being like, I know he can play.
Right.
Let me give him some dough and come over here. You know what I'm saying? And the person that used to do that just too old now. Jerry just too old.
And how do y'all think y'all winning 13 games? I'm listening to y'all.
Because I just told you why. Because
y'all
you just
run the ball. Because y'all run the ball more in the passing league.
Because we have a really good defense, bro. LB, we got a really good defense. You know that. You know we got a really good defense.
You have an opportunistic defense.
No,
you have a defense that creates turnovers.
We right, but we still
get a lot of sacks too.
We got defense that got sacks. We got defense to get turnovers.
Randy Gregory only took 6 with him. He didn't take the other one.
And we replaced.
Y'all had 2 players have outstanding years last year. Diggs and Parsons, outstanding years. Like,
but we also had people hurt though, didn't we? We also had Gallimore that was out half the season. We had DeMarcus Lawrence that was out half the
outstanding year that they had because they wasn't there.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. But we talk. You guys are talking about, we could potentially have a great defense because potentially on paper is what you see. Well, potentially on paper, when I see our guys healthy, potentially our defense is just as good, if not better.
I know.
But to
Michael Parsons or Michael Parsons.
But to piggyback off,
it doesn't matter. Michael Parsons doesn't have to get 13 sacks a year to be a better player.
Because it ain't happening.
But he will be a better player. You wish you had a Michael Parsons. You wish you had a Michael Parsons. Don't start it. And don't
hoping he fall off.
Who you think is going to be?
Give me the what?
Who's your linebacker going to be over there? Don't just say Dean.
Say Dean.
Oh no, not like I don't love Michael Parsons.
Micah, but you can't.
They all love him like you guessing. You guessing and hoping.
I'm not guessing hoping nothing. I'm not saying how good nobody gonna be. I'm telling y'all that it's damn near fact. It's damn near fact that that's not going to be duplicated by both of those guys.
We know. Okay,
it's
we know you ain't going to get 11 interceptions. Would y'all take that? What?
Let me ask you this serious question. You guys just went on like a good little 5-10 minute rant about how you guys went from a Super Bowl contending team and didn't get aggressive in the offseason. And now you're saying 13 wins. But listen, this is the question.
We never look at the schedule. Look at the schedule. You just look at the schedule.
Let me just finish.
The schedule.
But let me just finish it. So how is it crazy for me and LB and Eagles fans to think that adding talent to a team that won 9 games when we probably weren't supposed to?
I didn't say it was crazy.
Adding talent to that and being aggressive. Why is it crazy for us to think we should be able to win 13
that was crazy.
games?
What we say is crazy is when you say our players aren't going to get better. I listen to y'all videos. Every one of y'all players getting better, and apparently all of my players just chilling.
When you say that, you gave like $20 million to
I just heard y'all was telling me how Marcus Epps is going to take. I called him Mike Epps the other day too, about to take this leap. but Micah Parsons is supposed to just stay right here.
Y'all do it all. Y'all do it all the time. Y'all do it all the time. Y'all for the last couple of weeks, y'all been acting like AJ Brown ain't good. Now it's Bradbury.
No, I never said he wasn't good.
No, I ain't never said Bradbury wasn't good.
Now,
I ain't never said AJ Brown.
I did say Bradbury is overrated. Bradbury is overrated.
Blasphemy.
As what he is,
blasphemous.
He's perfect for what
why is he overrated? I mean, why isn't he overrated? Because because you think he's perfect for your system?
I do. I believe.
That's one of the reasons.
If I was saying he's coming in, if he's coming in as my number one guy, if he's coming in as the guy that's supposed to save that secondary, then that's overrating him. But to say he's going to come in and take Steven Nelson's spot, who just got $6 million, this guy is a legit number one cornerback. maybe not a top
LB.
10, maybe not a top 10, maybe not a top 5 cornerback, but he's a legitimate number 1 cornerback in this league, and we're playing him as a
top
number
10
2
cornerback in this league. He's a top 10 cornerback.
I mean, you can make that argument. I think you can make the argument either way.
He just played for a bad organization.
Hey,
listen,
couldn't I say that about Dante Fowler? Couldn't I say the same thing about that?
You can, but I'm talking about bad in the sense of personnel. A lot of the times when Diggs, listen, a lot of the times when Diggs gets a lot of these interceptions that I looked at, you know what I mean? Because I like watching good plays. It's a lot of pressure by Micah Parsons and them guys. And when Micah Parsons don't get home, Diggs get cooked. So you got sections of teams that need to feed off of each other.
That's not true. That's not true.
I don't want to have to pull up a video of y'all lives that y'all know about.
Oh, come on now. I watch video all the time.
We all getting clipped.
Why do you think Micah Parsons can't cover? I really want to know that.
Why do I think Micah Parsons can't cover?
No, you smiling. You don't even believe it.
He said Micah Parsons can't cover? You said Micah Parsons can't cover?
That. It's just something he says.
It's the thing. No. It's a thing. That's the weakest part of his game. He could cover, but he ain't elite at covering. So therefore, being as though he ain't elite at covering, he can get got right there.
That's the biggest part of his game. LB, tell me about your defense
last year.
Tell me about your linebacker, your linebacking core, your front line, who you're adding a rookie in there who you don't know. Tell me about your linebacking core. What makes them so good?
Why do I have to?
Look at your safeties. Your safeties, yeah. I don't know. I'm talking about. Go ahead. Go with linebackers. Tell me linebackers.
Kaiser White just led the Chargers in tackles. We got him on a $5 million deal. Hassan Reddick put his hand
on the leading team of tackles. Jalen Smith had 172 years ago. Where he at?
But he wasn't but he ain't Kaiser White. And that's where he at. That's where he at. He ain't Kaiser White. Kaiser White can cover, tackle, do everything. It's all over film.
That's not who I'm worried about. If you telling me on your team, you've been big enough as Nakobe Dean. Right?
I don't have to talk about him yet. Y'all gotta
let me finish. We'll bring up the other guys.
Y'all gotta let me finish.
I want you to finish.
The last, we're not talking about Hassan Reddick enough. We're not talking about Hassan Reddick.
Is he playing linebacker or is he playing in?
Both.
He's gonna be
both.
How many
he can play both like Parsons can.
13.
Say that again.
How many
sacks? No, I got him getting like a smooth nine.
I think he's going to be more edge guy, though. I feel like he's going to be more edge guy.
Reddick can play.
I think he will, too. I think Reddick is going to be a weapon.
I think he's more edge guy with you guys.
What y'all got to worry about,
Parsons is more edge guy with you guys.
We're talking about this defense. If we're talking about this linebacking core and we're talking about this defense, we can't leave out that we have such a stout interior defensive line. We can't leave that out. You go all the way down to Renell Wren. Renell Wren could probably be a solid number 2 for a lot of teams. So you guys got our backup. Hassan Ridgeway. I think you guys picked him up, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't you guys pick up Hassan Ridgeway, or am I?
No, we don't have that. We got John Ridgeway at the draft.
Hassan Ridgeway went to somewhere in the division. So
they got Corey Clement. They got Corey
Clement.
We don't want none of your players.
Well, I don't know if he's still on there.
Nah, but look. I'm not. Look,
y'all need some of our players. That's the thing.
Reddick is dope. I'm worried about the other end.
Who
on the other end?
TJ Edwards, Davion Taylor. I could keep naming them.
Yeah. No, not linebacker.
No.
Edge. Who your other edge?
Josh Sweat has 7.5 sacks. Brandon Graham coming back.
Brandon Graham coming. He like my age.
Oh my God.
Brandon Graham, he ain't been nice.
I give you Kaiser, but I ain't giving you nobody else in that.
Brandon Graham ain't been nice since the Super Bowl. He didn't even make the. He made the playoffs after that. He made the Pro Bowl after that.
You can make the.
He made the Pro Bowl after that.
Was it 2018? That's 4 years ago.
No, it wasn't 2018. I think it was 2020. If I'm not mistaken. But
I looked up Brandon Graham's stats. Them stats look real extra humble the last 4 years.
I mean, he's not a consistent 10-sack guy, but he could play. He could be moved around a lot on that line.
I mean, I'm not saying he's not a great player because I got one of those. His name is DeMarcus Lawrence. He's a great player, but his sacks don't be super high. So I got it. I just want to see if y'all was going to big him up, then we get to big up D-Law. I was waiting. That was the track.
Brandon Graham is better than Tank Lawrence.
You crazy.
No, he is not.
Brandon Graham is better than Tank Lawrence.
That's not homerism. See, that's homerism.
That ain't no homerism.
That's homerism.
That ain't no homerism.
That's homerism.
Your boy DeMarcus Law had one great season, and then got
one great season. He had 2 really good seasons. But if you look at, And
Find me
great
a-
run set
find me
and
an
what
edge
top
list
pressures.
as a defensive end.
Tops and
find me an edge list
pressures
where he
every
top
single
20.
year.
So is BG.
Find me an edge list
BG's
where he
one of the
top
highest
20.
in
Is
pressure.
Brandon Graham a top 5 right now? Top
Nah, I don't know
Lawrence
about
ain't
he
here.
didn't play all last
I
Top
bet
year.
you
ten?
Lawrence
Lawrence
on a top 10
Top
edge
10?
list. I bet you right now.
Brandon Graham
Tank-
ain't no top
I got-
10.
Tank ain't either.
Tank is. Yes, he is.
Oh
Yes,
my
he
Tank
God.
is not
You're
no top 10.
crazy.
Tank
You're
is not top
talking
10.
crazy.
Come on,
Yes,
come
he
on.
is.
We got
Pull up a list.
I got
Pull
I
up a
need my
list.
internet
right now.
back, man, because I need
Pull up
my
a
I got pen and
list.
paper right
laptop
now.
right now.
Let's
Okay.
start at one. Let's start at
Okay.
one. Who would be one? Miles Garrett, would you say?
Okay.
TJ Watt,
Maybe or
Miles
No,
Garrett,
edge.
Miles Garrett.
Strictly edge. Strictly edge.
Strictly
Miles
edge.
Garrett.
Miles Garrett.
Strictly
Who's
edge.
number 2? One of them TJ boys? Which one?
Probably Watt. Well, yeah, right. Watt.
Well, Watt's more of like a line. I mean, what do you really?
I like
it's
Nick-
funny.
Nick-
What do you
Nick-
categorize?
And no,
You like
you
to
ain't
sound
put,
right.
you
You
ain't
play
putting no
edge.
damn. You ain't putting no damn. The other Watt is done. JJ ain't mentioning this, so don't
Yeah,
talk
Jay-
about him.
Yeah,
JJ better than him too, probably.
No, he's not. Talking crazy.
Who
Anyway,
else? Who else I had?
done
Bosa?
talking.
Who else I had? Bosa?
Okay, you got Bosa.
Bosa.
Both the
You got
Bosa
both the
brothers.
Bosas.
Both of them,
You got
probably.
both the Bosas.
I'll tell you, both of them. So that's 5 right there, right?
That's
Can you
that's
still
that's
say
4.
Will?
That's 4
That's
right there.
That's 4. That's 4.
Max
No, that doesn't
Crosby?
count.
Max
Crosby.
Crosby.
Okay.
That's 5.
Now
Brandon Graham.
Lawrence
That's
is in there.
6.
No,
Hey, I was
he's
about to
not.
say, shout
Brandon
out
Graham
to
ain't no damn. Bro, that's where you putting Tank Lawrence
You
in
like
there
how I
right
snuck
now.
that in, though.
And then you could put Hayward in there from New Orleans.
Hold
That's where he's going to be in the mix.
We need help from the chat. You know, it's hard. It's
I
hard
don't
to
need
think
no
on the fly
help from
like
no
that.
chat. Oh yeah, okay, because they looking in there.
He
Right,
said-
it's hard to think
guarantee
on
you.
the fly.
Khalil
The
Mack.
chat,
Yeah.
the chat going.
Khalil
Khalil
Mack.
Mack.
I mentioned Khalil
he's
Mack.
more like a
I'm taking
linebacker.
Tank over Matt.
No,
right
he's
now.
not.
Matt
He's a
ain't done that in a
DN.
while.
Parsons.
Mac, so
Oh,
I
we
we
ain't
can
count
put
Parsons?
Mac there.
You're not putting Parsons. We said full time
He's
DN.
Parsons.
Yeah, there we go. He's
Parsons
at least
rush
8.
part-time.
He's at least 8.
Chandler
at
Jones,
least
I'm
8.
seeing.
Okay, Chandler Jones. That's a good
I'm
one.
saying
So now we
Chandler
had
Jones.
7.
Hey, look, Chandler Jones do produce.
He's already been mentioned in there. You already.
No, he
put
hasn't.
Lawrence-
No, he
Yeah,
hasn't.
he
I'm
has.
gonna read the list. No, he hasn't.
I'll tell you one
What's
thing
that?
you
You
always
shouldn't
say.
lose.
Ain't nobody
What's
say
that?
Brandon Graham.
What about Chris Jones? Is he an N?
Nope, he's a D tackle.
No,
All
he's
right.
a tackle. He's a tackle.
He's in
Hold
the
on,
top
hold on.
10.
Cam Jordan.
What about
Cam
Ngakwe?
Jordan.
Ngakwe. Yanni.
He on what team he
No,
on?
man, stop it,
What team he
man.
on? You don't even know
Von
what team he
Miller.
on.
Von Miller.
Von Miller.
Von
You don't
Miller.
even know what team Ngakwe
Von
on.
Miller is not.
That don't matter. I just know.
Von Miller's not full time.
I just know he
Von
got
Miller
moved
is
around.
not doing that no
I
more.
think Ngakwe
He is not doing
He
that a
ain't even-
complete
he on like
season like that.
17. They
If
do
you
that
have-
for
if
If you have
Ngakwe
Von Miller, we at 8.
Are
I'm
we
gonna find the
counting
rest of
Donald
them.
as an edge? I
It
mean,
doesn't
he's
matter.
on
He's
both,
already
right?
in there. He's already in there.
He top 10 is it? If you look at any list,
Hey, look at the top 10. Look at top 5 pressures every single year is DeMarcus Lawrence. The only thing that holds him back
He
is
don't
his
get
sacks.
home.
That's it. That's it. That's it. He's leading the top
Someone
10
said
pressures,
Frank Clark.
win
Y'all
pass rush win rate, tackles. He's one of the best run defenders in the league, and that's what you need as a defensive end more than anything. More than anything, you need to be able to stop that run.
We bump him in the D tackle.
Our defense went to another level when he came back.
So you say the same thing about Brandon Graham. Our defensive line was trash.
Man, come on, Joe.
Yo, who y'all other edge?
I'm taking Brandon Graham. I'm sorry.
You ain't
I like.
taking-
I
okay,
personally,
well,
I personally like Brandon Graham over him. Our other edge.
I personally like DeMarcus Lawrence over
Well, that's
him.
fine. We ain't supposed
Ain't
to
nothing
agree
wrong
on
with
that.
Nah,
But
you feel me?
We ain't supposed to agree. I respect that.
Sweat is that y'all savior? Because I don't fear Sweat. I'm sorry. And he decent.
Sweat.
Right now, he got more to
I
prove.
think
He got more to prove for sure.
Yeah, he did all right.
That's look.
He
That
got
look.
paid,
If I
so
look
he
at
gotta
2
do his
holes in
thing.
y'all defense, because y'all defense, y'all did shore up holes. It would be the other edge, have whatever y'all running, and it will be y'all safety room. That's it.
Yeah, we talked
Yeah,
about the safety
yeah.
room.
That's
Y'all
fair.
middle
That's
is
fair.
good.
You know
Y'all
what I
middle
got
is
that
good.
from? I ain't get that. Look,
This
I
is-
ain't make this up. Like I said, I listen to y'all. Philly broke it down for me on Friday, 5,500. Y'all give me the knowledge. I don't got to come here with notes. I listen to y'all for a good hour. Like, oh, okay, I know all their weaknesses. They told me.
Look, all right. So this is the question I really wanted to ask. We got about 400 people in here. We're at 46-11. I can almost guarantee this is going to get clipped when I ask this. Rome, can we say finally that Trayvon Diggs is not better than Darius Slay? Because I don't think that it's even close. And you keep on saying that Trayvon, just because he got more interceptions doesn't mean he's a better cornerback. Are we willing to say that the Eagles have the better secondary, better quarterback room?
2 years ago, I was on Twitter saying that Trayvon Diggs, before last year, before the 11 picks, go find my tweet because it's there. I said that Trayvon Diggs was the best corner in the division then. We got in an argument about it. So you asked the wrong person. If I said it then, after 11 picks, you think I'm gonna come here like, you know what? Like I've been on that.
I think so. Overall, not the individual, but do you think that your secondary, your cornerback group is better than ours after we just loaded up?
Trayvon Diggs is amazing because he gave up 907 yards of yards. It's on Pro Football Reference.
That's amazing.
No, listen. And Jalen Ramsey gave up 600-something yards, right? You do the math. The difference is 270-something yards. I did it the other day. You want 270 yards or you want an extra 7 picks? Pick one.
Hey, Joe, I'm going to have to leave you hanging real quick. She just woke up.
You good. You good.
I got you.
You good.
Let me jump in there. Let me jump in there on this way since you already asked it and Rome said as big game. If we're talking about overall, if you're talking about the overall player right now, I'm gonna say Slay's the overall better player because I feel like he's been in the league longer. But if you're talking about who's going to be the better player, I'm taking Diggs. If you ask me right now, who would I take? I'm taking Diggs. You know why? Because he gets interceptions. And here's the thing. Slay's probably been playing cornerback his whole life. I don't know. Let's go back. But Diggs hasn't. Diggs ain't been playing cornerback full time for like maybe 3 years now, maybe 4. So when you see that upside, he got like 3 picks last year, dropped like 2, so he really should have 5. Comes back and get 11. The trajectory and the upside is way more than a Darius Slay. The only thing he does need to cut down, and I'm gonna say this for myself because I talked to George Teague, who went to Alabama, and we talked about this when he came out the draft. Me and him both talked about this. He's got to get his technique better. He's got to get better at press coverage because he relies so much on his ball skills. He tends to let that go. Just like I said, hey. Rome said that because I made that Marcus Peters count when he came out of college. When Diggs came out of college, I said he was the Marcus Peters count.
But it's the receiver in him, James. He can't help
it. I know. But see, here's the thing. When I gave him the Marcus Peters count, people was getting mad at me. And I'm like, but if you look at him, he's a playmaker. Marcus Peters gambles because he's a playmaker.
You know what I want him to change, though? Because
I don't want to change.
Himself got him here. It's like with RG. I hate to bring up another team, but RG3. I know he got hurt up eventually, but I remember that one year right after he had the big year, he was like, I'm not running no more. And he ain't been right. He was never right after that because he changed his mindset. He wanted to change what got him there. It's kind of going to be like, hey, Jalen Hurts, don't run. And if he forces himself not to use his instincts, now you double thinking when you should be reacting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't stop listening to PFF. If you were so trash, they would not talk about you at all. It's a bunch of corners I don't never hear about. They get bored, they lose traction, they just throw them. How y'all feel about Trayvon Diggs today? And then everybody going crazy. Like, I don't pay that stuff no mind. We all know that Trayvon Diggs is a great corner. I ain't never even hear yards given up until last year. Just like I never heard garbage time yards until the year before. They be inventing stats for the Cowboys.
They really.
Y'all would take all I'm gonna say is this, Joe. You would take a Trevin Diggs in a heartbeat. You would take them 11 interceptions in a heartbeat. You would take them in a heartbeat.
I don't know. Is he ever going to replicate that? How many people are able to do that?
But you already seen the playmaking ability the first year. You saw when he played against you guys when we didn't have Dak Prescott. He got interceptions. He got 2 interceptions in that game. Those turnovers make a difference. And yes, you're not going to get 11 interceptions every year. But when you're a playmaking corner like he is, he's a receiver playing corner, dog. That's the truth. He's a receiver playing corner. When you have a guy like that that's opportunistic, he's always going to be around that ball and get that ball. I want that.
Trayvon Diggs better than Jalen Reagor.
Yep.
That receiver.
I would say that, yeah.
He's such a heel.
For real.
I'll give you that.
You know, he cried when he had to go to corner. That's how much he loved receiver. He cried when Nick Saban made him go to corner. That's how much he loved the receiver.
Nick Saban made him a lot of money.
I will agree with you that Trayvon Diggs has the more upside simply because of age, right? That's really realistically, you never
Not
know
just because
if
of
he can
age,
continue
because
to
you see
ascend.
the skills.
If he can
Don't
continue
just
to
say because of the age. You
I don't
see
think
his
that he's more
skills.
skilled than Darius Slay. I don't think he's
How
more skilled than
not?
Darius Slay.
Bro,
Where do you see?
I don't
he's
think
not,
he is just because he
okay.
gets a bunch of picks. Yeah, you look at
Okay, so why do you
how
say
he
he's not skilled? So why do you
James.
say he's not
I'm
skilled?
not saying he's not skilled.
No,
I'm not saying
tell me
he's
he's
not
not.
skilled.
Tell me why he's
I'm
not.
I'm saying he's not as skilled as Darius
Why?
Slay to me.
Tell me the reason why.
Because Darius Slay is more of a natural cornerback. He has the better hip fluidity, in my opinion.
No, he does not
takes
have
away
better
the
hip
Yes,
fluidity.
he does. Yes,
He does not have
Yes,
better
he
hip
does.
fluidity.
He's been
He's
doing
not
this
a
for
better
long
athlete.
time.
No, he's not. He's not have
I
no
didn't
hip
say he
fluidity.
was a better athlete. I didn't say he was a better
Okay,
athlete.
but you said hip
He
fluidity.
does the technical issue. He does the technical side of
Technically,
being a
that's
quarterback
it.
better.
The technical side, and that's
Which involves hip fluidity.
Hey, Joe.
No, it does not.
Joe, what if I told you this?
No,
To a
that means
certain
technique.
What if I told you
No, it
Joe?
does not. No, it does
Joe.
not.
To a certain extent.
What if I told you this, Joe? What if I told you that
What's
Darius Slay is 30, and the reason why he didn't get roasted last year is because he played off all year. So maybe you might see a different Darius. When he starts playing up close, hey man, that's the cliff. That's the magic number. That's where the men get separated from the boys. The year 30. So you don't know when that line of demarcation is gonna happen. You don't know.
Facts.
Now I'm not here to hope. I don't need to hope that he don't play well. Hope he played great. I still think we can beat y'all. My point is to assume like this 24-year-old that just got 11 interceptions, and then the year before he had 3 interceptions, and he only played in like 5 games, like started because he got hurt his first year. To assume that his skill set that is there. Ask Jalen Hurts. He just threw him a bunch of passes. That skill set is there. When Jalen Hurts looks over at Trayvon, you know how many picks Trayvon Diggs got off Hurts? He got 4.
Yeah.
So when he look over at Diggs, you can say he don't care. When he sees 7, he think about it a little bit. Because he don't want to throw 5.
I will say that Trayvon Diggs is a great player. Kudos to him. I'm still taking Darius Slay. I'm still taking my secondary. I'm still taking my defense.
But as I said before, like I said before, the only difference with Trayvon Diggs, and I said it before that, was the technique. And that's where I said Darius Slay was at this time. If we're talking about overall, yes, he doesn't have that technique. He needs to get it better. He needs to incorporate it, because here's the thing. Y'all should be scared. Other teams out there, if he gets that technique that we're talking about, it's over, because you already got all-world playmaking ability. That makes you super elite. You was already all-pro. You super elite, and nobody's really coming your way. But I welcome people throwing his way. I think he welcomes it because he loves to get in those quarterbacks' mind and make you think you're open, and then he's going to get you.
Because James, Joe, you don't think that quarterbacks think, all right, look, this whole double move thing. You can think in your mind, I just gotta get over the double move. You also gotta think, if I don't put this joint right on his numbers, if I throw an errant pass, he not like most DBs. You hit a DB in the hands, they're like, oh dang, that's why I'm playing DB. You mess up with Trayvon Diggs and you're gonna be shaking your head like, so you can't slip up. You better be super accurate, because if you get the ball near him, that's what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
You're not getting no batted
down.
Yeah,
he baits a lot of quarterbacks too. I mean, he gives a lot of people a false sense of security, but he did give up a lot of yards, and that it's a give and take. It's a give and take. So I can't kill him for the yards that he gave up, because obviously you saw
yards.
Exactly, you saw the production as far as interceptions go. I like my team. I can't. At the end of the day, Trayvon Diggs was allowed to be aggressive. I don't think Darius Slay was necessarily allowed to be aggressive. When you look at our safeties, when you look at the linebackers, he had a lot of things he had to worry about, and he was still able to score 3 touchdowns and hold people to, I think the most he gave up was like 50, 60 yards in a game. So he did very well in a very porous defense. So that's my biggest thing with Darius Slay. He did more with less. You guys had Micah Parsons damn near playing offense almost. Like he did damn near everything for you guys, especially defensively.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I know he wanted to play offense.
No, he played offense one play.
He said he wants to play. He wants to be a wrestler.
No, I'm saying he played offense one play. Most people don't know that last year.
Yeah,
He was blocking on the play. It's just funny. I'm like, they really made him play offense one time.
So it's like, go ahead, dog.
He's different. Now let
That's
me
cool
ask you this,
though.
Joe.
Y'all know I love Micah Parsons, man. It
the
hurts
one
to
player that
really
pissed
have
me
to
off.
But
say
you agree with me with this, Joe. You agree with me this at this point right now. You can't say that our defense at this point right now is better because of that fact that yes, you guys got a better middle, but when you look at Micah Parsons, he over trumps what you linebackers are talking about. LVE wasn't bad. LVE wasn't trash
No, he
last
wasn't
year.
bad last year.
And then we got a Jabril Cox, so we have a lot of hope in. I think he's going to do. But when you look at our corners,
Yeah, I wanted to.
Anthony Brown had a career year. I know what you say about Bradbury, but it's not like Anthony Brown is just straight hot
Anthony
garbage.
Brown had
And
better stats than Bradbury last year.
he had a better year statistically than him. And then when you
Well,
see
James
what,
Bradbury's on the Giants.
but here's the thing: when you see what Jaron Kearse did and Malik Hooker was a top player, and he came back. Now he's full back from injury. You feel me? You look at our safety tandem right there, bro. Our safety tandem is really good. Hey, if you get Kelvin Joseph doesn't get in trouble, if Kelvin Joseph gets his head right, because he had nobody's questioning his talent. If he gets his head right, and let's say he gets on that field and does it right, because he showed the potential in those last 3 games, dog, I definitely feel a lot better about our back end than a lot of other teams.
Joe, let me ask you this question. Serious question. I know we was yelling for a good minute. Everybody was happy. Let's be serious about football talk for 2 seconds. Y'all want to play more aggressive. You know what I'm saying? And y'all want to put more pressure on the quarterback, like most people, and get the ball out of people's hands and stuff like that. And I know you're always joking about Trayvon Diggs with double moves and stuff like that, but my thing is this. Anthony Harris ain't changed no lives last year, and Marcus Epps is more of a box safety, right? My point is, if you make your corners play up, do you have faith in your back end? And I ain't even talking about just
I don't. But I don't think it's gonna be like that.
You know what I'm saying? So that might be a problem. Gannon might be like, look, I know y'all want me to be super aggressive, but I still got these 2. And I'm not saying that Harris ain't serviceable. I ain't saying Epps can't play. I'm saying literal, if we're talking football strategy, that's what I would do. I would try to hit one of y'all with a double move because I wouldn't be too worried about the sideline to sideline from them back 2 safeties. That's not hate. I'm being literal. Do you think that's a problem?
No, that's fair. No, that's fair to say. I mean, our safeties are still our biggest concern. I don't think that it's as big of a concern because I think that you have now a very, very good defensive line. You were able to get the linebacking core better. I won't say that they're great. I won't say that they're bad. They're better. Your cornerback room is better. I don't think we're going to be playing a lot of man. I know we did last year in certain situations, but I think we're going to be mainly a zone-heavy team, and I think that's why James Bradbury has said multiple times that he thinks that this team would fit his strengths the best.
Is that his thing?
I don't think
we're going to.
Apparently, that's what he says. He says that he fits more in zone coverages, and I like James Bradbury. I'm not going to sit here and say he was my first choice, but for what we need, I think he fills that perfectly. I would have been happy with Steven Nelson back. So do I think that Steven Nelson is better than James Bradbury? Not really. I think James Bradbury is a guy that can still ascend. Yeah, so I think he can still ascend. There's nothing, holding us back from possibly extending him if he does well and he's somebody that fits our culture and everything. Sometimes it's not who you are. And we've talked about this on this show and especially with the draft. Sometimes it's not necessarily, who you are as a player, but where you're playing and what you're asked to do. So I think that might help us a little bit this year. I think that both of our teams, I think you said it perfectly. You guys got weaknesses. We have weaknesses. I think if anything, maybe we got a little bit closer in talent. I think that's fair to say. I think that last year you guys were way ahead of us.
I'd be lying if I say y'all. Yeah. Look, if there was a gap, it's closed. I'm not here to say y'all passed us. Yeah. I let the media do that.
No, yeah.
But
not yet.
Yeah, closed. Like I don't. If I had to predict this year, we're gonna split. If I want to be, this is the not homer because I'll get on my channel next week and tell you that we're gonna sweep y'all because that's what I'm supposed to do. If I want to be real, I can see us splitting. It is.
Yeah. And I already told you that, Joe, when we went through the schedule, when we did our own personal show, I told you, I said I felt we were going to split. I felt y'all was going to beat us in Philly and we were going to beat you in Dallas. But no matter what Lord Brunson says, LB, whatever he says, he can say whatever the heck he wants. I don't care what he says. At the end of the day, it comes down to Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts. The stats say it. Dak Prescott
talk
does.
around that all the time. Nobody wants that talk quarterback.
Dak Prescott does own the Eagles. He's 6-1 in his last 7 outings. I mean, I'm just saying, Rome, as in general, 7-3 against the Eagles, 6-1 in his last 7 games. Dog, is ownership. And then even when we talk about when we took a step back, Ezekiel Elliott in his career games, dog, he averaging almost 100 yards. He's averaging almost 100.
It's 21.
100 yards a game. He's averaging 97 yards a game against the Eagles.
Because even when Zeke having a bad year, when we play y'all, he be like, I'm about to turn it up.
I mean, these two guys are, to me, deciding factors on why Dallas will still win that East and will still be able to trump, because you can say whatever you want. LB can say what he wants. Quarterback play does matter. And right now, Jalen Hurts has not shown that he can beat our defense. He has not shown he can take that next step against our defense. And until he can show that he can take that next step, you're going to say the Dallas Cowboys are going to win the NFC East because we have the best quarterback in the division.
Let me ask Joe this.
That sounds good.
All right, you know it, Joe.
I don't think so. I think we're going to sweep you out.
Hey, you ain't sleeping. You definitely don't believe that.
No,
I'll let Joe talk.
I do.
100%. Let me ask Joe this question, because I know you know my draft. You know us well. You know us more than you act like you do.
Yeah, he knows us too good. He know everything.
Man. So what's the draft pick that we did get this year? And you be honest. If it's none of them, that's fine. That you look at like, he might be a problem, but I ain't never wanted to tell nobody.
I think you got 2. One of them, but they're both basically the same position. Not basically the same position, but I think if he's healthy, Damone Clark down the road could be really, really good for you guys. Yeah. Like really, really good. But he has to stay healthy. I think obviously that's the biggest thing. And then I like Sam Williams. Maybe you guys. I think Sam is a dog.
He like that same way.
I want to see if he's gonna be honest.
I like Sam. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you. Jalen Tolbert might be good. I think you guys took him far too early. That's the only thing with me. Like.
Come on, Rome. Stop that, Rome. No, we took him in the 3rd.
I was taking like 4th, 5th.
You just gonna be there in the 5th?
Rome, you lying. No, you lying, Joe. Because when we was doing that draft, you seen that 3rd round. You know you was considering him in our shows. You better stop that.
No, he's good. I like Jalen Tolbert too. I do like Jalen Tolbert.
If I'll say this, because you ain't never heard me. You ain't never seen me say Nakobe Dean was trash. I'm not responsible for the millions of Cowboys fans, by the way. If some random dude in Idaho say something stupid, it ain't my fault. I just want to get that out there. Because it's a lot of fans that say crazy. But I feel like Nakobe Dean's going to be a great player. I do. I don't feel like he's going to be trash. But I feel like the comp has been wrong. We've been arguing for the last 2 weeks about him versus Micah. That's just stupid. They're not even built the same. The real comp for him is Darius Leonard. That's who I can see.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know what I'm saying? So
with him, it's all mental. I said this before with James on our shows before. I've said this a lot, and I can't lie about it because it's on tape. I was nervous about Nakobe Dean because I felt like he said that he thought Nakobe Dean was better than Devin Lloyd. I was high on Devin Lloyd.
I just still do. I still do.
Yeah,
I like Nakobe Dean.
But the reason why I say that is because I was nervous about Nakobe Dean because obviously his size, gets a little bit worrisome. But for me, it was more so that but you're more so in a defense that was so stacked with talent. You look at that defensive line; they kept their linebackers clean. There's a couple of those boys that might be top 5, picks next year.
Hey, did y'all draft too? I'm sorry, the Packers did the same thing y'all did. They went and got one of them D tackles and one of them linebackers. Nobody talking about it, but they kind of did. They got Wyatt and
Quay Walker.
They was like, we're gonna just do the same thing, but nobody talking about it.
Quay's a dog. I was surprised he went in the. I was surprised and I wasn't, but like I heard that he was gonna go in that early, but I was kind of surprised. I thought that Nakobe was the lock, to be honest. But it is what it is.
People just was looking at that size with Nakobe Dean. Let's just keep it real.
That's what
here's the thing. Yeah. When you first come out the draft, you're the darling in the beginning. But when you're out there for 2 or 3 months, they get the time to pick at you and pick you apart and pick all the bad things about you. So that's all it was. You saw me and you were tweeting back and forth, Joe. When we still wasn't getting Dean, I was pissed off. So I told you I like Nakobe Dean. I think he's going to be a good player.
Fans that want to call him trash because of the comparison that got brought up by LB. He started all this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
I like him.
they both linebackers, but they different type of players.
Yeah,
that's why
totally
I'm saying
different.
who's another undersized linebacker? Warner.
See here, you know who? No, Fred Warner. He's a big guy.
He's
Y'all
a big
won't. Y'all won't probably know this. I don't know if y'all know about this player because it's a little bit older, but he's this type of player to me, but with speed. If y'all ever heard about London Fletcher, he used to play with the. He reminds me of him, but with better speed, dog, because he has the same measurable. Dog, he's a guy that's sideline to sideline. He's going to get a lot of tackles. No, Kobe Dean's going to be everywhere. He's going to be a high tackle guy. Absolutely. I feel like he's going to be a guy that's going to be good. I think he's going to be a leader on that field. I feel like that's one of the biggest things he's going to add to your defense is the leadership out there. And then people are saying in the chat, "Oh, come on, James, you know you take Jordan Davis." I would. I ain't never said I would take no daggone James. Who said I would?
I like Jordan Davis.
Me and Joe was doing freaking videos every Sunday, and I was picking him in my mock drafts whenever he was available.
Hey, James, be fair.
Remember that one time I didn't?
No, they can clip it. I like Jordan Davis. I make my video still up about why I would take it. I don't take down videos. My thing is this, though. Some of the Eagles fans are starting to twist their mind into thinking Jordan Davis is something that he's not. He might grow into.
No, that's
100%. They put him in the Hall of Fame. They put him in the Hall of Fame.
No, not even that. I'm talking about. He might begin the Hall of Fame. I'm talking about the fact that they think he about to get 8 sacks.
Yeah.
That ain't him yet. Let him play in the league.
He's a run stopper. If
he's a run stopper and he's super athletic. Like he'll hawk a person down. But as far as
you know what Jordan Davis says about the Philadelphia Eagles defense, and this goes back to what you were asking earlier about the man and zone and what we were trying to do. What it says to me about Jordan Davis and Kyron Johnson are I want to say 6th pick out of Kansas. I like him too, but both these players say the same thing to me. We are going to be multiple. We're going to have that true nose tackle. We're going to have a guy that just eats up blocks. So what does that also say to me is that you're allowing guys like TJ Edwards, you're allowing guys like Davian Taylor, Nakobe Dean to run free. So that's really what that says.
Stupid and say Jordan Davis' first year was whack if he had 3 sacks. Because that ain't
that's not that guy.
I try to tell people, I try to give people the honest, look, I'm always called a hater. It is what it is. But I want to get to some of these. I want to get to some of these super chats before we do get out of here because I missed a lot of them. Shout out to, I'm so sorry to everybody because I don't really see them that much on the phone. But my girl just let me use her phone real quick to look at them. So Drew sent $2. He sent $2 2 different times. The second one that I saw is 1-3 in the playoffs in 7 years, the average. I think he's talking about y'all, but either way. And then we have another one from Nick Reeder, $6.99 in Canadian money. So that's like a little bit more. I'm feeling fancy right now. He said, think we can all agree. We want the NFC East to be taken serious by the rest of the league. No more NFC least shit. Excuse me. No more NFC. Giants got better after the draft.
You get that?
I agree. Yeah, I'm hyped. Y'all got me hyped. But yeah, no, I agree. And Philly Talk, the podcast, sent a super chat as well, but I just didn't see it. He's the one that actually helped me realize that I've been missing all these. But we still got 433 people in this chat. I think we should probably end it up pretty soon. I want to give everybody the floor for give a last word. This was probably the calmest interaction that Eagles and Cowboys fans will have, especially on the YouTubes. I know it's going to get crazy over the next couple of months, but we'll start with you, Rome. Just kind of give your final take on what you're looking for this season and what you're excited about, I guess.
I just want to say this. You the organizer, can we do this, you and James? Again, maybe on a night, you know what I'm saying? Weekends get tight for the parents, so I know why LB had to drop off. It'd be weird. You know what I'm saying? So we want to do this on a weeknight with y'all same fellas. So I actually like the football conversation. We weren't just yelling. So I do want to get back here with LB if he want to.
I have my internet Monday. So we'll actually have it looking nice and everything.
So after OTAs or something, after OTAs, we can get back in here and talk a little bit more. But as far as outlook on the season, man, I'll be honest with y'all, man. I see us both. Why can't we be what the West was with the Seahawks and all? Why we can't? You know what I'm saying? Because we're like this. Super Bowl let down the second season after you make the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? That regression thing is real. You know what I'm saying? I watched the Chiefs come back to the pack slightly, and I watched the Bucks come back to the pack slightly. So everybody just penciling in the Bengals as a win over the Cowboys. Not so fast. They not even used to success. Yeah. So they got to figure out what this is like. They ain't never had the target on their back. They snuck up on people last year. So let's just see. know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm not too. And the Rams just won the chip. Aaron Donald talking about retiring still. Like so. Let's just watch how things happen. You know what I'm saying? That you do feel yourself after you win it or make it. So us having them two on our schedule, I'm not too nervous about because the Super Bowl letdown next year is real. You know what I'm saying? As far as for us in our division, between me, us, and like the rest of the people in the division, I feel like the Giants and the Washington Commanders, or whatever their name is, are going to make us work harder this year, which is good though. You want your division to make you work so when you get to the playoffs, you know what I'm saying, you can get it done. But as far as us, I can see one of us winning 12 games and the other team is going to win 10 or 11 games. That's why I was saying, why can't we be the West? Why can't – it's not going to be 12 and the other team wins 6. I know when we be listening to our other lives and stuff like that, everyone assumes that the whole division is going to be 3 wins and then one team is going to be 12. I really do feel like y'all going to win 10 to 12 games, however it breaks, and so will we. But one person's going to just have the 10. And then we'll let the playoffs really talk about who's better over the year. But I really, like, my honest opinion, I ain't saying y'all going to be that bottom feeder of a team. I'm saying that I feel like we're better than y'all by 1 or 2 games, which would put us at 11 or 12. But if we win the year, one team is 11-6 and the other team is 10-7, you wouldn't be surprised. We both right there. But maybe we more ready for the playoffs. Like both of them. You know so that's what I can see. I can see us, all this trash talk we doing, I can see both of us being better. I can see us being more of a foundational, solid team and not just top heavy. Because that's what our draft was about. We were solidifying some places and making our team more stout in areas, and our mindset is different. So I can see us being a harder out because it ain't just top heavy. You know what I'm saying? And I can see y'all being a harder out because y'all just added mad people. So it is what it is. That's it. That's my shout out to James. That's my final word.
You know we do. And here is my final word. Just kind of bouncing off wrong about with both our teams. I feel like both teams are going to be double-digit guys. I believe you guys were 9-8 last year. Dallas was 12-5. I believe you guys are going to get double-digit wins this year. I feel like it's between us. Washington and the Giants are going to get better. I do believe that. I believe Washington has gotten better just because of Carson Wentz. I think they won like 7 games. So I feel like they can win them maybe another game or 2. You want the East. And just like what that person said, if I feel like Carson Wentz can get them a couple wins, they can get the 9 wins. You guys can get double digits. The Cowboys, I do believe, will get double digits. So that can tell you right there the East can be back within 1 year. It can happen like that with just a few manipulative moves. You guys didn't stand back pat in the offseason. I feel like, I was looking at that from afar. I told you, I was like, I gave you a lot of compliments. That closed the gap, in my opinion. The gap was different. But what I'm still going to say is, Joe, the quarterback still is the deciding factor, no matter what anybody says in this chat, no matter what anybody says in these worlds out here, in these lands. That is the deciding difference. If you look at the records, if you look at the stats, if you look at the numbers, it just shows what it is and the play. We still have, I feel like, the better quarterback and the best quarterback in the East, and I feel like that's going to be
James.
Yeah, I believe that as well, and I believe that that's going to be the deciding factor in the East. Now, as far as the playoffs, I got to see because I told you how I feel. I'm suspect on my own squad because they done let me down too many times. So to me, it's playoffs. I ain't even looking at the regular season because I feel like the Cowboys are going to do it in the regular season because we got the talent and we do got good enough coaching to do it. We got to see what's going to happen in these playoffs. That's going to be the deciding factor and the biggest difference. But in my opinion, yes, we both getting double-digit wins. There's going to be the battle for the East, but the Cowboys still have that deciding factor in Dak Prescott. Until Jalen Hurts shows he's that guy, that's what I feel like is going to keep y'all kind of at that level.
I agree that Jalen Hurts has to prove some things to himself, to his team, to his coaching staff. But outside of Jalen Hurts, while I do agree that the quarterback play, especially in today's NFL, is very, very imperative to winning, I do think that he can do enough to make us a very good team. So it really does come down to everybody. Everybody has to show and prove. I feel like Howie Roseman had probably his best offseason as a GM in a long time. So I'm excited about this season. I think that we're going to be very, very good. The fact that last year we had this conversation, let's be realistic. Last year we had this conversation, and I had to really kind of bite my tongue on a lot of these topics. I had to kind of just say, I guess we'll just see. We saw something that I think a lot of Eagles fans have the right and deserve to be excited about. As do you guys, we're just going to be better. I think that we agree on a lot of things, just disagree on the end product. So exactly, that's it. It is what it is. But I do want to say shout out to Brian H on the $10 super chat, and I do want to say to you guys, man, including LB, I appreciate you guys so much for coming on, man. This was a lot of fun. It's always a bunch of fun chopping it up with you guys, and I think it's dope to be able to show our audience, our subscribers, that behind the scenes we don't send death threats and DM each other
like these weird fans do.
Look, we
exactly,
look,
guys.
We're gonna get off here and shoot Twitter shots at each other all day. That's what we're gonna do. But look,
exactly.
You see, LB had to go check on. He had family stuff. I got daughters. You know what I'm saying? People got this real life, so I ain't got no real beef with y'all. It ain't never that deep.
It ain't never that deep, but so many people make it that deep, and which is always weird to me. You can have a great conversation. I can dislike your team and everything, but still be your best friend. Like, I never understood that, but you know what? I'm gonna tell you this. That's why I appreciate Joe and Rome getting into the Cowboys content and going to media school, because then it took my feelings out of it and made me more analytical, and then it made me be more calmed down. I think more people should look at the game that way.
Yeah, man. I just like I said, Joe and James, I'm serious. I don't know when, but hopefully in a couple of weeks or whenever y'all free, for real. I like if you watch the beginning, whoever just jumped in here, it ain't what you think it was. We wasn't just yelling at each other. It was some actual. And I thought that was dope because I didn't know what we was gonna get. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so I enjoyed it because I respect y'all football acumen, or I wouldn't listen to y'all. Mm-hmm. I know that sounds crazy. When I'm not in front of the camera, I'm in the comments too. So I listen to y'all. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep up with what your enemies doing.
You in my comments a bit too much. Yeah, but that's why
I'm in there.
That's why we're the best. The best of enemies. That's what we're trying to do, man. But I do appreciate everybody in the chat. Over 400 people. This show has literally grown week after week. Me and James have brought this from its infancy, and it looks like we really got something. So we really appreciate it. I don't have the intro or outro. So I guess all I can really do is we're brothers. Give me a high five. All right, we out, y'all.
All right, y'all.
Peace.